Hey there, Susan Sanford from Vineyard Complementary Medicine. This video is about reclaiming your height. And what I find is people over 40 are shrinking. Some of you, may notice that as you go get your physicals, you may be shrinking. I've worked with people that have lost up to 3 inches of height, and that just can't feel good. That means you're losing space in your spine, mostly between in your box. That's the area between your rib cage and your pelvic bones. So as we shrink, gravity presses down on us, especially if we sit all day. Then you've got the counter pressure of sitting, so pressing up in the seat. So you got upward pressure on your spine along with downward pressure from gravity. And then if you're a runner, if you're a tennis player, if you're adding that impact to it, that's really a lot of compressive forces. You lose the lubrication in your spine, and then this area just starts to close up and get smaller and smaller. I've actually worked with people whose rib cage were actually touching these bones here, and they were so shrunken here. So I'm going to teach you how to reclaim your height. My philosophy is when you're over 40, gravity is not your friend anymore, and you have to fight the fight. And this is almost like a youth elixir. So my definition of old is shrinking. And if we can reclaim some of that height or prevent from that height loss, then we're keeping our spines young and supple and mobile. And when you move, things won't hurt. I actually had a situation where I actually was super compressed, and I had so much pain in the morning getting out of bed. Once I reclaimed that height, I was pain-free. So I'm going to show you one exercise, but I'm going to show you 2 different positions. First lying down and then standing. So my favorite exercise that I do every morning before I get out of bed is called the morning stretch. And that's where you're lengthening your arm and then lengthening your leg, creating space here. So let me show you how to do that. So go ahead and lie down on your back if you haven't already done so. Outstretch your arms up overhead. Now, if you have shoulder issues and you have discomfort reaching your arms up overhead like that, prop yourself up with pillows so that your arm is in a position where it is not painful. All right. All that matters is you are creating space between here. So you're going to pull your feet back so that your ankles are pulled back. You're going to reach your heel away from you. So pretend like you're going to put your footprint on the wall in front of you. Take your arm up overhead. You're going to lengthen your leg by sliding your leg away, opening up the space between your rib cage and this pelvic bone right here. Then you take your fingertips and you lengthen them and you reach them to the wall behind you, and you lengthen, create as much space as you can. Do it for about 5 seconds. Release and repeat it 3 times on one side. Then repeat 5 seconds, 3 times on the other side. And if you want to get a little more advanced, you can cross it and do the opposite leg and arm. And reach it long. Really reclaim that height. Reach that heel away from you. All right, and then when you get up, making sure that we're always keeping our box square. So the other option is if you're not lying down and you have the opportunity to do it standing, you can stand, go up on your tiptoes, reach one arm high, lengthen your arm, creating space in between your rib cage, and then you drop that heel down to add the leg lengthening component of it. Again, hold it for 5 seconds, and then repeat, and then the other side, up on the tiptoes, reach your fingertips toward the ceiling, drop the heel, and lengthen. You can also do it in a doorway. If you're tall enough to reach the trim, you can hold on to it and use that as some leverage and really get a good stretch. Reclaim your height. Get the height back in here. Measure your height. Do it before and after. You'll notice a big difference. So reclaim your height. And then this next series of videos, I'm going to show you how to not only reclaim it, but then also maintain it. So it's synonymous, well, actually analogous to like taking this soda can that's been kind of crumpled and squished, uncrinkling it, reclaiming that height. And then in the next set of videos, I'm going to show you how to maintain that by then doing your core and abdominal exercises to maintain that. So reclaim your height, fight the fight. Gravity's not your friend after 40. So morning stretches and arm and leg lengtheners, I think, are the youth elixir. Thank you. Susan Sanford from Vineyard Complementary Medicine.